Did you know that some of the cheap comfort foods sitting quietly in your kitchen could be silently stealing years from your life, weakening your heart, clouding your memory, and speeding up aging from the inside out? It may sound unbelievable, but new research shows that for seniors over 60, eating the wrong low-cost foods just a few times a week can raise your risk of stroke, dementia, and heart disease by up to 70%. Many older adults think they're saving money or keeping things simple, but in reality, they're unknowingly feeding their bodies hidden sugars, toxic additives, and inflammatory fats disguised as cheap and convenient. These foods don't just fill your stomach, they drain your vitality little by little, day after day. But here's the good news. The right budget-friendly foods can do the exact opposite. They can help you stay sharp, strong, and independent well into your 80s and beyond. And rest assured, every part of today's video is backed by real science and carefully verified research. So today, we're going to uncover the 3 worst cheap foods you should never eat after 60, and the 3 powerful, affordable foods you should eat every day to protect your heart, boost your memory, and keep your body young from the inside out. This might completely change the way you look at your grocery list. Forever, before we dive in, I'd love to know more about you. How old are you? Where are you watching from? And what do you usually eat to start your morning? Share it in the comments so we can understand each other better and make this community even stronger. Now let's start with number 1, white bread, and all refined grains hiding behind it. It seems harmless, even comforting, especially when you want something soft, quick, and cheap. But for seniors over 60, this everyday food can act like a silent trigger for blood sugar spikes, inflammation, and long-term metabolic damage. Let's break down why. White bread is made from refined grains that have been stripped of the bran and germ, the parts that contain almost all the fiber, vitamins, and minerals your body needs. What's left is a fast-absorbing starch that hits your bloodstream like a sugar bomb. For younger adults, the body may handle this rapid rise and fall, but for seniors, that sudden glucose surge forces the pancreas to release a strong, prolonged insulin response, which over time can lead to insulin resistance, chronic inflammation, and eventually full metabolic syndrome. And the effects don't stop at blood sugar. Without fiber, white bread moves through the digestive tract too quickly, leaving older adults more vulnerable to constipation, bloating, and uncomfortable slow-moving bowels, a problem that becomes more common as gut motility naturally declines with age. The good news is that research clearly shows how powerful the right switch can be. A clinical trial from the UK found that adults who replaced cheap white bread with whole grain bread and oat bran improved insulin sensitivity and lowered LDL cholesterol in just 12 weeks. And the long-running Framingham Offspring study, which tracked thousands of adults over 20 years, discovered that people who ate more whole grains, like rye, oats, and brown rice, had significantly smaller waistlines and a 40% lower risk of metabolic syndrome compared to those who mainly ate refined grains. So what should seniors do? Choose whole grains first. Opt for whole wheat bread, brown rice, steel-cut oats, or quinoa instead of white bread or white rice. These foods provide fiber, B vitamins, and magnesium that help stabilize blood sugar and support heart health. Pair carbs with protein and healthy fats. If you do eat white bread occasionally, combine it with protein, like eggs, yogurt, or beans, and healthy fats, like peanut butter or olive oil, to slow down sugar absorption. A simple peanut butter spread or a bowl of oats with milk can make a big difference. Boost fiber with fruits and vegetables. Whether you choose white or whole grain bread, aim for 25 to 30 grams of fiber per day. Vegetables and fruits add prebiotic fiber that feeds beneficial gut bacteria, strengthens immunity, and reduces inflammation in older adults. Now, if white bread surprised you, wait until you see the next cheap food on our list. It's even more common and far more dangerous. Let's move to number 2. Number 2, instant noodles, the cheap meal most seniors turn to without realizing the hidden cost. They're fast, convenient, and available on every corner. But for adults over 60, that little packet can become a quiet threat sitting right on the kitchen shelf. Instant noodles are extremely low in fiber, vitamins, and protein, yet incredibly high in sodium. The noodles themselves are made from refined flour, offering almost no nutritional value, while the seasoning packet often contains 1,200 to 1,800 milligrams of sodium, nearly a full day's limit in just one small packet. And for an aging heart, that's like adding fuel to a weak flame. Too much sodium forces blood pressure to rise, worsens swelling in the legs, and puts tremendous strain on arteries already weakened by age. A major 2023 study, funded by the National Institutes of Health, NIH, found that nearly 3/4 of participants significantly lowered their systolic blood pressure simply by switching from a high-salt diet to a low-salt one. For seniors, that drop could mean the difference between stable circulation and a trip to the emergency room. But sodium isn't the only concern, because instant noodles contain almost zero fiber. They can slow digestion, disrupt gut bacteria, and worsen constipation. Issues that become more common as intestinal motility declines with age. And the additives, MSG, and preservatives often found in cheap noodle packets are much harder for older bodies to process, especially when eaten several times a week. Even more striking, a U.S. study found that reducing sodium by just 1 teaspoon a day lowered blood pressure as effectively as a common prescription antihypertensive medication. That means cutting back on salty foods like instant noodles can deliver real, measurable health benefits without needing stronger medications. So, what should seniors do? Limit instant noodles as much as possible. If you must eat them, use only a portion of the seasoning packet. Choose noodles made from whole grains or low-sodium varieties when you can find them. Add vegetables, boiled eggs, or lean meat to boost fiber and protein. 2 nutrients instant noodles completely lack. Drink plenty of water afterward, and pair the meal with fruit to help replace missing vitamins and minerals. And, whenever possible, prepare simple soups or fresh noodle dishes at home. They're cheap, customizable, and far healthier for an aging heart. Instant noodles may be convenient, but the next low-cost food on our list is even more common and potentially far more damaging. Number 3. Processed meats. The cheap convenience food that hides a much darker truth. Sausages, ham, smoked meats, and Chinese-style sausages may feel tasty, quick, and satisfying, but for seniors over 60, they can become a serious health hazard with every bite. These processed meats are loaded with sodium, saturated fat, and chemical preservatives like nitrates and nitrites. While they make the food flavorful and long-lasting, they create a dangerous combination for an aging body. In fact, the World Health Organization, WHO, has officially classified processed meats as a Group 1 carcinogen, the same category as smoking, because evidence clearly links them to colorectal cancer. And the numbers are alarming. Eating just 50 grams of processed meat a day, that's 1 small sausage or 2 slices of bacon, increases the risk of colorectal cancer by 18%. This means even small daily portions eaten over years can silently damage the intestines of older adults. But cancer isn't the only danger. Processed meats are high in cholesterol and saturated fats that contribute to atherosclerosis, narrowing the arteries and raising the risk of heart attack and stroke. Their extremely high salt content also pushes blood pressure upward and can worsen heart failure, conditions already common in seniors. A study published in Nature found strong associations between high consumption of red and processed meats and increased risks of cardiovascular disease and even dementia. When major studies from different countries all point to the same conclusion, the warning becomes impossible to ignore. So what should seniors do? Avoid processed meats as part of your daily diet. Choose fresh lean meats, chicken breast, pork tenderloin, or fish, where you can control the salt and fat during cooking. If you crave the flavor of cold cuts, choose low-sodium options or ask the deli counter for freshly cooked roast meat instead of packaged products. Always read nutrition labels and pick items with less than 5% of the daily sodium value per serving. Cook using healthier methods, boiling, steaming, or pan-searing with no added oil. Use herbs like garlic, pepper, and rosemary to add flavor without extra salt. And remember, processed meat is never the only fast option. Keeping shredded boiled chicken or ready-to-eat boiled eggs in the fridge can give you quick, safe, and nutritious meals without the hidden risks. Before we begin the next section, let's take a deep breath, because now we're shifting from the dangerous budget foods you should avoid to the powerful, affordable foods that can help you stay strong, sharp, and independent. Sometimes removing harmful foods is only half the battle. The real transformation begins when you replace them with choices that truly nourish your body. So let's move from what drains your health to the foods that can rebuild it from the inside out. First, let's talk about one of the simplest, cheapest, yet most powerful foods on earth: beans. Black beans, kidney beans, soybeans, lentils, peas. This humble family of legumes is a true nutritional lifeline for seniors over 60, especially those trying to stay healthy on a tight budget. Beans are packed with high-quality plant protein, rich in soluble fiber, and loaded with B vitamins, folate, potassium, magnesium, and iron. But it's the soluble fiber that makes beans extraordinary. Once inside your digestive tract, this fiber forms a soft gel that binds to excess cholesterol and helps carry it out of your body, naturally lowering LDL levels and protecting your arteries. And the science behind beans is nothing short of astounding. A landmark study published in JAMA Internal Medicine followed nearly 10,000 adults for 19 years. Those who ate beans at least 4 times a week had a 22% lower risk of coronary heart disease compared to those who ate beans less than once a week. Even more impressive, among seniors over 60, regular bean eaters experienced up to a 62% reduction in heart disease risk. For a food this cheap and accessible, that level of protection is remarkable. Beans also help stabilize blood sugar, which is crucial for older adults dealing with diabetes or prediabetes. Their slow-digesting complex carbs prevent sudden spikes and crashes, keeping energy steady throughout the day. And because many seniors struggle with chewing or digesting red meat, beans offer a gentle, digestible alternative that provides protein without saturated fat or cholesterol. Their antioxidants and flavonoids further help reduce inflammation, slow cellular aging, and support long-term vitality. And each type of bean brings its own unique superpower. Red beans are rich in iron, supporting healthy blood and reducing fatigue. Soybeans provide high protein, excellent for maintaining muscle strength. Lentils offer abundant folate, essential for heart and brain function. Mung beans deliver a gentle, easy-to-digest option for seniors with sensitive stomachs. The simplest option is canned beans, but choose low-sodium varieties and rinse them well to wash away excess salt. For dried beans, soak them 6 to 8 hours or overnight to reduce gas-forming compounds, then cook them until very soft so your digestive system can handle them comfortably. Beans are wonderfully versatile. Add them to soups, mix them into rice, blend them into porridge, make tender bean patties, or simmer them with lean meat. And for seniors who prefer softer textures, a bowl of creamy bean congee is one of the most nourishing choices. Aim for 3 to 4 servings per week, the ideal amount recommended for heart protection and metabolic health. Beans prove that eating well doesn't have to be expensive, and the next food on our list is just as affordable, yet even more powerful for muscle strength. Ready for number 2? Now let's move to the second affordable food that can transform senior health: canned fish such as sardines and tuna. It may look simple, just a plain metal can sitting quietly on the pantry shelf, but for older adults, this is one of the most powerful and underrated foods you can buy on a budget. Fish is naturally rich in high-quality protein and loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, the essential heart-protective and brain-boosting fats most seniors don't get enough of. And while fresh seafood can be expensive, canned fish like sardines, tuna, and herring provide nearly the same benefits for just a fraction of the price, making them a lifesaver for seniors with limited income. One of the biggest advantages of canned sardines is that they are often packed with their soft, edible bones. This makes them a remarkable calcium source. 100 grams of sardines contain around 382 milligrams of calcium, almost 40% of the daily requirement, a huge gift for aging bones that desperately need support. These small fish are also rich in vitamin D and vitamin B12. Both essential for maintaining strong bones, healthy nerves, and cognitive clarity. But where canned fish truly shines is its omega-3 content. Small, oily fish like sardines and herring contain high levels of EPA and DHA, the two forms of omega-3 proven to reduce inflammation, lower triglycerides, support brain health, and reduce the risk of irregular heart rhythms. One famous study from Chicago found that adults over 65 who ate fish at least once per week showed memory decline 10 to 13% slower, essentially keeping their brains 3 to 4 years younger than those who rarely ate fish. And when it comes to heart health, the American Heart Association reports that people who eat fish, especially fatty fish, 2 times per week have a 36% lower risk of dying from heart disease. There is even emerging cancer prevention evidence. A 2022 study in JAMA Network Open found that while men who consumed large amounts of ultra-processed foods had 29% higher risk of colorectal cancer, those who ate regular amounts of fish showed a reduced risk, suggesting that fish may offer a protective effect. Overall, scientific evidence strongly encourages seniors to eat at least 1 to 2 servings of fish per week, whether fresh or canned, to support heart, brain, and bone health. How should seniors choose and eat canned fish safely? Select sardines, herring, or salmon packed in tomato sauce or olive oil rather than inexpensive generic oils, which are often lower quality. Prioritize smaller fish, like sardines and herring, because they contain much less mercury than large fish. Larger white tuna should be limited to less than once per week, especially for seniors to reduce mercury exposure. Canned fish can be salty, so it's best to drain the liquid and rinse the fish lightly before cooking. Look for low-sodium labels whenever possible. To balance the meal, pair canned fish with vegetables or fruit. Something as simple as sardines in tomato broth or a tuna salad with lettuce, cucumber, and lemon adds potassium and fiber to neutralize excess sodium and support heart health. For food safety, once a can is opened, refrigerate leftovers and use them within 1 to 2 days. Never leave opened canned fish at room temperature for more than 2 hours. People with gout or severe kidney disease should speak with a doctor, as fish contains purines that may raise uric acid when consumed excessively. Canned fish proves that eating well doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. And if you think this tiny can pack a punch, wait until you see the next affordable food, one that strengthens your muscles and protects your independence with every bite. And now let's move to the third affordable food that every senior should welcome into their daily routine: oats and whole grains. They may look humble, just simple grains in a bag, but for adults over 60, oats and whole grains are nothing less than a true lifeline. For the heart, the digestive system, and long-term vitality. Oats and whole grains like barley, brown rice, and rye bread are rich in complex carbohydrates, essential vitamins, minerals, and most importantly, fiber, the nutrient most seniors are missing. Oats are especially powerful because they contain beta-glucan, a soluble fiber proven to lower LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol that damages arteries and increases heart attack risk. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, even allows oats to carry the health claim that 3 grams of beta-glucan per day may reduce the risk of heart disease. Whole grains are also loaded with magnesium, selenium, and B vitamins, which help stabilize energy, support nerve function, and keep the mind clear. For older adults, this is crucial. These grains prevent sharp blood sugar swings that cause fatigue, dizziness, and midday crashes. Their high fiber content also reduces constipation, supports gut bacteria, and strengthens immunity. And for seniors with weak teeth, oats are a gift, soft, gentle, and easy to turn into warm porridge that nourishes without strain. The science behind oats is incredibly strong. A clinical trial published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that consuming 1 gram of beta-glucan 3 times per day, a total of 3 grams for just 4 weeks, lowered LDL cholesterol by around 6%, reducing estimated heart disease risk by about 8%. Another meta-analysis reported 5 to 10% reductions in total cholesterol when participants regularly consumed fiber from oats and other whole grains. In China, a study on overweight seniors showed that those who ate oatmeal for breakfast lost more weight and had better fasting blood sugar than those who ate white rice porridge. And long-term studies from Harvard reveal that diets high in whole grains may reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke by up to 30%. Even better, the prebiotic fiber in whole grains, especially oats and barley, helps reduce inflammation, one of the strongest drivers of chronic disease in old age. How should seniors eat oats and whole grains safely? Choose rolled oats or steel-cut oats instead of instant flavored packets, which are often filled with sugar. Whole oats take a bit longer to cook but retain more nutrients and have a lower glycemic index. Prepare them in many ways: warm porridge, overnight oats blended into smoothies, low-sugar oat cookies, or mixed into yogurt. Other whole grains like barley can be added to soups or desserts. Brown rice works beautifully in rice bowls or congee. Pair oats with fresh fruit, nuts, or low-fat milk to create a balanced, antioxidant-rich breakfast. Because whole grain fiber absorbs water, seniors should drink enough fluids when increasing their intake to prevent bloating or constipation. For those living with diabetes, monitor portion sizes, around 1/2 cup dry oats per meal, and check blood sugar after eating to find the right amount. Oats and whole grains prove that you don't need expensive superfoods to protect your heart, your digestion, and your long-term independence. And with this, we complete our trio of powerful, affordable foods for seniors. Simple ingredients that deliver extraordinary health.